The Repair Shop is more than just a television series. It's a touching reminder of how powerful memories can be. Each episode takes viewers inside a peaceful, cozy workshop where a group of talented experts breathe new life into treasured family heirlooms. Whether it's a music box passed down for generations or a tattered old teddy bear that once comforted a child, every item has a story to tell. The show doesn't just focus on fixing things, it focuses on restoring emotional connections and preserving the stories that come with these beloved objects. Every specialist who steps into that barn brings not just craftsmanship, but heart. These artisans treat each item with the care it deserves, gently repairing damage while honoring its past. It's this deep respect for history, memory, personal connection that has made the Repair Shop such a comfort to so many viewers. They aren't just watching antiques get repaired, they're watching love and legacy being brought back to life. Jay Blades. The soul of the show at the center of this emotional journey is Jay Blades, a man whose presence has become inseparable from the show itself. Known for his warm smile, thoughtful words, and heartfelt reactions, Jay has become one of the most beloved faces on British television. But now, Jay has spoken openly about his experience on the show, and fans have been left stunned by what he revealed. Jay's rise to fame didn't come easy. Long before he was in front of the camera, he came from humble beginnings. Raised in challenging circumstances, Jay found peace and purpose in working with his hands. He didn't have a straight path to success. His journey was filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of deep reflection. But it was also filled with passion, perseverance, and a genuine love for helping others from an early age. Jay had a talent for fixing broken things, not just furniture, but also broken spirits. He saw beauty where others saw junk. This eye for potential helped him turn discarded objects into cherished treasures. Over the years, he worked behind the scenes as a furniture restorer, quietly building a reputation as someone who treated every project with care and respect. What made Jay different wasn't just his skill, it was his understanding that every object carries memories, and those memories matter. How Jay changed the game when the Repair Shop came to television. It was unlike anything else. While most shows chase drama or competition, this one focused on connection, kindness, and community. Jay was the perfect person to lead it. With his approachable personality and heartfelt curiosity, he created a space where guests felt safe sharing their emotional stories. As the show grew, so did Jay's impact. He didn't just host, he held everything together. He was the emotional bridge between the expert restorers and the people who entrusted their precious items to them. His ability to listen, to comfort, and to truly understand made every episode feel deeply personal. Audiences weren't just watching repairs, they were witnessing healing. One of Jay's greatest strengths is his ability to make everyone feel valued. Whether he was speaking with an elderly woman about her late husband's pocket watch or comforting a young boy bringing in his father's childhood toy, Jay approached every situation with the same level of care. His laughter, encouragement, and sincerity created a warmth that resonated with viewers across generations. Moments that defined Jay's legacy over the years. Countless moments on the Repair Shop have brought audiences to tears. On many of those moments featured Jay. One particularly touching episode showed a family bringing in a military uniform worn by their grandfather during World War II. As the experts carefully restored the uniform, Jay stood beside the family, reflecting on the sacrifices behind the fabric. His presence during the emotional reveal added weight to the moment, reminding viewers of the human stories that shape history. Another episode saw a battered piano being lovingly restored. It had belonged to a family for decades and had gone silent with age. Watching the keys come back to life and seeing the family's joy as music returned to their home was unforgettable. Jay's excitement was genuine. He cheered, laughed, and shared in their happiness, reminding everyone that these restorations were about far more than objects, more than a show. Movement. Jay's impact goes beyond what we see on screen. He's become a mentor, a role model, and an advocate for kindness and craftsmanship. His personal story overcoming adversity, finding his calling later in life, and using his platform to uplift others has inspired people from all walks of life. He's shown that it's never too late to find purpose, and that healing can come in many forms. During times of uncertainty, especially in recent years, the Repair Shop became a safe haven for many viewers. It reminded people of the importance of slowing down, cherishing family memories, and finding beauty in the broken. Jay's steady presence and heartfelt reactions brought calm to those who needed it most. Even as the show's popularity soared, Jay stayed grounded. He remained committed to being authentic, never losing sight of why he started this journey in the first place. His sincerity and humility earned him not just viewers, but loyal fans who saw him as more than a presenter. They saw him as a friend, a leader, someone who truly cared. Jay's revelation, and what comes next now. As Jay opens up about his experiences on the Repair Shop, it's clear that even behind the smiles and uplifting stories, there have been personal challenges. He hinted at moments of struggle and difficult choices that tested his dedication to the show. His honesty has shocked many fans who saw the series as a source of only joy. But it's also brought a deeper understanding of Jay's character, someone who, despite fame and pressure, has always chosen integrity. Jay's next steps may take him in new directions, but one thing is certain: his influence on the Repair Shop will remain. His legacy is woven into every tearful reunion, every carefully restored object, and every moment of shared memory. Jay Blades didn't just fix furniture, he reminded us all of the importance of history, empathy, and second chances. There was a time when Jay Blades stood as a shining example of resilience, kindness, and creative spirit. He wasn't just a familiar face on television, he was a symbol of hope for many who had faced tough times and still managed to push forward. Through his gentle demeanor and warm personality, Jay brought people together. He didn't just fix broken items, he helped mend broken hearts. Yet behind the scenes, the pressure of fame and the constant demands of public life were taking a toll. What once felt like a dream come true slowly turned into a difficult journey filled with personal challenges and emotional strain. From the very beginning, Jay's presence on the Repair Shop was nothing short of transformative. His voice, his compassion, and his ability to connect with people made the show stand out. Viewers didn't just tune in to watch old objects being restored, they came to witness stories of love, loss, and legacy. And Jay was at the center of it all. But life has a way of shifting, and just when it seemed things couldn't be better, cracks began to appear. No one expected the wave of difficulties that would soon rise, putting Jay's reputation and career at risk. Jay's journey was never easy. Before becoming a TV personality, he had already overcome incredible obstacles. Growing up in a challenging environment, he faced setbacks that would have discouraged many. But Jay found strength in community, and used that strength to shape a new path for himself. He carried those values into his work, promoting empathy, patience, and the belief that anything broken can be fixed. His rise to fame was not just about talent, but about heart. People saw themselves in his story, especially those who had once felt forgotten by society. When the Repair Shop gained popularity, it wasn't just a win for the BBC, it was a win for everyday people who wanted to believe in second chances. Jay became more than a presenter. He became a mentor, a writer, and an advocate for mental health. He used his voice to start conversations about healing, self-worth, and the beauty of imperfections. In interviews, speeches, and books, he encouraged others to talk openly about their pain and to find power in vulnerability. His honesty inspired many to seek help and to see value in their own stories. Outside of the studio, Jay gave back in meaningful ways. He visited schools and community centers, sharing his love for craft and reminding young people that creativity could change lives. These weren't publicity stunts. They were genuine acts of kindness. Jay believed that success only mattered if it could be used to uplift others. But as his fame grew, so did the expectations. The boundary between his personal life and his public image began to blur, and eventually, the pressure became too much to hide. Difficulties in Jay's private life began to surface, slowly at first, then suddenly, all at once. A storm of allegations changed everything. News broke that Jay was facing serious charges involving emotional abuse and coercive behavior in a past relationship. These revelations shocked his fans and left many struggling to reconcile the warm-hearted figure on TV. With the disturbing claims being reported, allegations were serious and deeply troubling, and the consequences were immediate. Broadcasters responded quickly. The BBC made the difficult decision to suspend episodes of The Repair Shop that featured Jay. Upcoming specials were postponed, and his image disappeared from promotional campaigns. There were whispers that the network was considering a replacement, someone who could carry the torch without the controversy. Behind the scenes, producers faced a painful dilemma: how to protect a beloved show while acknowledging the seriousness of the situation involving its most recognized star. Jay was also removed from live events related to the show, including the Repair Shop Tours, which had been a celebration of its success across the UK. Other projects he was involved in were quietly shelved. A documentary planned with Dame Judi Dench and another series with Channel 5 were both cancelled. These moves signaled that broadcasters were taking the allegations seriously and were committed to protecting their public image and credibility. As media coverage intensified, so did public interest in Jay's personal life. Details from the charges painted a grim picture, and his estranged partner spoke out about the emotional toll of their relationship. Public sentiment, once overwhelmingly supportive, began to fracture. Social media became divided. Some called for patience and due process, while others demanded accountability. Jay's online activity slowed. His posts were few and far between, carefully worded and clearly managed with caution. Throughout this time, the repair shop continued without him. The barn that had become a place of healing for so many still stood, and the crew carried on the work they loved. Fans noticed Jay's absence, but the spirit of the show endured. Viewers still tuned in, finding comfort in stories of restoration, even as questions lingered about what would come next. Would Jay ever return? Would he speak out? Was this the end of his journey with the show that changed his life? Then, after months of silence, Jay finally spoke. But instead of anger or denial, his words were filled with reflection and grace. He chose not to address the legal case in detail, but he opened up about the repair shop, the people who worked alongside him, and the joy the show had brought to others. He expressed love for the team and gratitude for the opportunity to be part of something so meaningful. His tone was heartfelt, less about defending himself, and more about honoring the legacy of the work they had done together. Jay shared what the show meant to him, personally. A place where people didn't just fix items, they found healing, forgiveness, and sometimes closure. He talked about the power of seeing a family heirloom restored and how those moments reminded people of the love they shared with those they had lost. Jay's belief in second chances remained strong, even as he faced one of the hardest chapters in his own life. While his future on television remains uncertain, one thing is clear: Jay Blades left a mark on millions of hearts. His story is now one of both inspiration and caution. It reminds us that public figures are human, with strengths and flaws like everyone else. The road ahead for Jay may be long and difficult, but for many, his story remains a reminder of how powerful honesty, craftsmanship, and community can be even when life breaks down. Behind the camera lens of the repair shop, what audiences saw was more than just the restoration of old furniture. It was the gentle revival of stories, traditions, and people's memories. At the center of this emotional landscape stood Jay Blades, the calm and compassionate presenter who led viewers through every delicate repair and every heartfelt tale. But what many didn't see was the bond Jay shared with his fellow artisans behind the scenes. The team affectionately referred to their workspace as the barn, a place that didn't just house tools and antiques, but trust, friendship, and shared history. Jay often spoke of the team like family, united by years of creative collaboration and a shared love for craftsmanship. Jay deeply respected the artisans he worked with, often pointing out how their combined skills and decades of experience were what truly gave the show its authenticity. Even when he was later removed from the show due to serious allegations, Jay didn't respond with anger or public resentment. Instead, he spoke with surprising humility, offering words of appreciation for what the repair shop had given him both professionally and personally. He described the experience as healing, saying the show had helped fix him in ways he never expected. At a time when many anticipated bitterness, Jay's quiet dignity left a different impression, one of someone who still held love for what the show represented. For Jay, the journey wasn't just about appearing on screen, it was about protecting and passing down traditional skills and sharing the importance of restoration. Not just of objects, but of people and their stories. He often emphasized how essential it was to preserve these crafts for future generations, believing that this mission was the true heart of the show. That message, combined with the show's commitment to kindness and community, helped the repair shop become a rare kind of television, gentle, emotional, and profoundly human. As presenter, Jay's presence added warmth and sincerity to every episode. He had a gift for making guests feel seen and heard, often creating emotional moments that stayed with viewers long after the credits rolled. Even when faced with personal turmoil, he remained committed to the values the show stood for. He spoke of the repair shop as a place that welcomed him with open arms, embracing not just his strengths, but also his differences and struggles. This deep emotional connection explains why Jay continued to speak fondly of the show even after everything that happened. His heartfelt words offered fans a chance to see the man beyond the headlines. They saw someone who prioritized empathy, storytelling, and craftsmanship above personal image. For many, this raised the question, was his departure final, or could there be a possibility of return someday? When Jay finally broke his silence, he didn't do so to defend himself or deny the circumstances. He simply shared his truth with sincerity and grace. His comments were a reminder that public figures are not one-dimensional. They carry complexities, flaws, and resilience just like anyone else. The days following his statement were filled with mixed emotions from fans. Many were still processing the shock of his removal, unsure how to reconcile their admiration for Jay with the controversy surrounding him. Some expressed disappointment, while others urged compassion. Choosing to separate the man from the allegations and focus on the joy he had brought into their lives over the years, social media buzzed with divided opinions. But there was also a shared sense of recognition that things had changed, but that the memories built through the show still mattered. Behind the scenes, the BBC and the producers faced their own set of challenges. Jay had been the familiar face of the repair shop for so long, and his sudden departure required not only a reshuffling of production, but also a delicate balancing act. Legal processes had to be respected, yet the integrity of the show needed to be preserved. Episodes featuring Jay were quietly pulled or restructured, and attention slowly began shifting toward other longtime contributors like Will Kirk and Dom Chinya. Promotional material started highlighting their personalities more, and the show gently pivoted its focus to the broader team. Meanwhile, Jay found new ways to stay connected with his audience. Through late-night DJ sessions and casual online live streams, he began carving out a new digital space for himself, one that felt more intimate and candid. Free from the polish of television, these moments gave supporters a glimpse of Jay as a person still trying to move forward, still holding on to the community he helped build. It was clear he wasn't trying to erase the past, but perhaps rewrite the next chapter on his own terms. As legal matters continue, the question of Jay's return to television remains uncertain. Broadcasters have remained cautious, acknowledging the importance of due process and the sensitivity of public perception. At the same time, the repair shop continues on its core themes of empathy, tradition, and gentle storytelling still intact. But without Jay, it begins a new phase, one shaped by change, but still grounded in its original mission. Jay's future remains undefined, yet what remains unmistakable is his enduring love for the show, the craft, and the people it touched. Whether or not he ever returns to television, his legacy is felt in every restored heirloom and every heartfelt story shared in the barn. It's a reminder that even in the face of personal setbacks, a person's contributions don't simply vanish, they live on in the moments they helped create. The journey ahead will demand healing, reflection, and perhaps forgiveness from the public, the producers, and Jay himself. But in the meantime, the repair shop continues to mend more than just broken items. And Jay Blade's story reminds us that beyond fame and controversy, there's a human being searching, like all of us, for purpose, understanding, and redemption. What do you think? Should Jay be given another chance on the repair shop, or has that chapter closed for good? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.